welcome to Stream Squad. We've got Nick back with us.
What's going on?
Yes, I'm still back here too, so don't you all worry, I'm here. Hello. Good show. Nick, we missed you last week.
Yeah, it's I've been around, so
Yeah.
happy to be back. I know we have a couple different topics we go through every week, from industry to strategy to things happening in the user group. Going to be showing some new things coming down the pipeline that will be available to you all very, very soon, in the next few days, hopefully. And would love to have you jump in the comments and tell us what you think. So, Angela, you want to kick
What I really
off?
want to know when we get to it, what I want to know is how people are going to use it.
Yeah.
That's a little teaser, but yeah, exciting stuff coming after industry news. So I'll let Angela.
You got to watch the whole thing, guys.
So to start off the show, of course, the big topic of this week is the iPhone 10 is coming out this Friday.
Is it iPhone 10 or X? I've never figured
X,
that.
I think.
I've heard both. If I'm saying it, I say 10, but if I'm reading it, I say, like, in my brain, I say X. So for me, it's depending on the day, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to watch some Apple commercials. Maybe they say.
The Apple new phone. So it was just released yesterday that it was supposed to come out in 2018, and Apple actually decided to speed that along. They felt like the phone was in a great enough state to go ahead and put out early. And since they're trying to make this new design, which we'll get into in just a second, the face of the next 10 years of iPhone, they thought it'd be really good to hit that 10-year mark of the iPhone with this new model. So it explains a little more of why they skipped iPhone 9 and went straight to possibly 10. But if you guys haven't seen it, it has a taller display than what we're used to, so it's a lot taller than usual. Instead of the fingerprint ID, there's a Face ID. We went into that a little bit when it was first released, where it'll detect your face even in low lighting, whichever angle you have, whether you're wearing makeup or not, so that way you can actually unlock your phone. There is no home button, so there's a new series of commands that you'll need to do things like screenshotting things, as well as opening and closing the phone. Of course, wireless charging is really big that they're coming out with. My personal favorite, the Animojis, are coming out. People are calling that automatic machinima making, so I'm definitely excited for Animojis. The glass back design is back. That's been gone for a little bit. Your pictures are going to look great with an OLED display, and unfortunately the headphone jack is still gone though. So
yeah, the edge-to-edge display is really cool. It's challenging from a software perspective, and designing and thinking about UI, and we have some changes that are going to be coming to Switcher that will allow it to work well on iPhone 10, and that may continue to evolve, but don't worry about not being able to use Switcher. We have been looking at some new design elements so that you can continue to use it on these new devices. Pre-order started last week, and I think this Friday is when they will first be available for those that were right there at launch. I pre-ordered day one, and I'm on the second shipment. It's like 5 to 6 weeks before I'll be getting mine. So it's like November 11th through the 18th. So there might be people in the user group that get their new iPhone 10 before I do. And would love to see some pictures of what you were all doing with it and how it's working with Switcher. But yeah, we're really excited for the new phone, and there's some new things that we'll be able to look at as we get our hands on it.
So I might be jumping the gun here a little bit, but Angela mentioned that there's no headphone jack still, right? And that's kind of a bummer. I mean, who doesn't want to use headphones like these or something? It was interesting. Like, I don't want to get into strategy or too much yet, but some of our users in our user group were talking about how do you bring in good audio through like an iRig or something and still be able to use and charge it at the same time. And what we found out is that you can use the USB connector. I think it's called like the camera adapter or something for the phone. You can plug that in and then use an iRig Pro, which has a USB out into, or whatever the plug called.
We'll have to draw a picture.
Yeah, we'll have to draw a picture. I was just getting excited here, and I was just like, oh man, can I scramble and get stuff together really quickly to show you?
You can bring an audio and charge.
Yeah, using an iRig Pro.
Okay.
Expect a blog post or something. I'll put something out here soon. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, really looking forward to the new phone. And like we said, if there's anyone in the group or watching this video and you get yours early, send us pictures. We'd love to see you using Switcher with the new iPhone 10 or X or whatever
it's going to be.
We should know this.
The Not 9.
Can we call it the iPhone 10X?
Yeah.
How about that?
All right, so what's up next?
So next we've got a little bit of a sneak peek for you guys. So iOS 11, of course, came with a lot of new features, and one of the ones we were most excited about was the fact to do screen recording. Now, this has coincided with a feature a lot of people have been asking about. Of course, you can do screen sharing with, originally just Mac, recently with Windows. So the question has come, when do we get iOS screen sharing? I'm going to let Dan explain a little more about what's to come for Switcher.
Yeah, I guess pretty much. Should I just play the promo video?
Yeah, go for it.
Play the promo video. Yeah, we put something together. When's the release date for the new update? Are we shooting for?
It's in review by Apple.
It's in review,
it is
so
very soon.
Hopefully very soon. Hopefully by the end of the week, if not early next week, we'll be able to release this to you. But the big one is this feature I'm going to show you, and I apologize if the audio is really loud. I haven't had time to check this, but here you go.
So there you have it, iOS screen sharing for Switcher Studio. Threw a few ideas, examples in there for you all. Would love to learn more about how you think you might be able to use this feature. If there's some things that you've been waiting for or anything that you think of, go ahead and drop that in the comments. We'll come back to that before the end of the show. With this feature, you will swipe up from the notification center to enable it, and that device will show up in Switcher. There's a great tutorial video that Dan has put together that walks through that process and what you need to do to enable this feature. Really great for showing Twitter feeds and Google Maps and
app reviews.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think there's a lot of really cool use cases that we haven't shown yet. And there's a few we're holding on to. But one idea we've had is to put together a list of maybe 5 or 10 other apps that are out there that you could integrate into Switcher using this feature. And so just be thinking about that. Give us your thoughts, and we'll be putting together a compilation on that here soon. With this update, we have also taken care of some just general bug fixes with different reports that we've had from users. And one that's been going on for a while is the DJI Osmo Mobile integration. And we reached out to DJI. This is the company that makes drones, has a handheld gimbal where you can get smooth handheld steady shots. And with Switcher, you can remotely control that device. So you could have a camera in the same room on a tripod, and from your iPad, tell it where to go, left, right, up, down. There were some users that were experiencing issues after long run times. There's a memory leak with this implementation, and we reached out to DJI and have been going back and forth for months. It's taken a long time to resolve, but we have gotten back a patch from DJI, and we've been able to implement that and test, and that will be shipping with this release as well. So that's another one that we're really excited about. A few more pieces, and we'll have an email going out, a blog post with more information on other things that will be available in this update. One last one we wanted to hit on is multi-view effects. We've added a few more options, and if you go into the advanced settings, There's some really cool options there, and a lot of flexibility with what you can do with these. One is a new split screen mode, where you can move that line back and forth. You can also do it horizontally. So that's going to open up some possibilities. And with the picture-in-picture effect, you can also completely round the corners to do circular overlays, and get in there, play with it. Multi-view is starting to get a lot more fun. And so some more things we're going to be working on there. But really excited about this update, excited to see how you all use it. And yeah.
Do you want to take just one quick question that we should probably address on here?
For sure.
About the this iOS screen sharing audio, could you talk about a workflow there, or is audio? It's being
okay.
asked
So with Switcher, audio has to come from your main device where you're doing the production, where you're switching sources, and where you're streaming. And by default, that's the built-in mic. You can also use your headphones if you connect them to the device, or an iRig. If you're using screen sharing, whether it's for Mac or with the new beta version for Windows, you do have to route audio through an adapter or an audio mixer to your main device. Screen sharing for iOS is just the video feed today, but that's something that we're spending a lot of time on, and want to make sure that we solve for to make audio a little bit easier for you all. But in an effort to keep things simple, just make sure you get audio to your main device, either through Bluetooth or the headphone jack, or the Lightning port, and it will sync up with your entire production.
Right. Yeah, if I may, pretty much when we had long talks about the iOS screen sharing piece not shipping with audio at first, and we're like, should we wait and figure all that out first, or should we just go ahead and do it? And we came to the conclusion that it works, it looks really good. Let's go ahead and push that out to everybody so you all can start using it, get comfortable with it, and hopefully here soon we'll be able to push out or push audio through iOS screen sharing and our other screen sharing things as well.
Yeah, and again, the multi-view effects I think are going to be really useful with this feature. Be sure to check those out, and look at some of the different options that are available there. And iOS screen sharing also works with director mode. So if you're doing screen sharing, whether it's vertical or horizontal, we have a way to manage that within the file structure. And when you go to produce your higher quality of video using director mode, that will also work if you have screen sharing enabled on an iPhone or iPad. So we'll do a special session on this, probably jump in the user group later this week, early next week, and we can do a deep dive on iOS screen sharing and answer any questions that you all have. But wanted to give a heads up and tease it a little bit, and we're really close. We're just waiting for Apple to give us the green light. So let us know how you think you might be using it, and we'll be talking a lot more about this in the next few weeks.
So I think the next section here is our user group happenings, which we were going to talk about. We were getting a lot of questions about the DJI Osmo that I think Nick already covered.
I jumped ahead, didn't I?
Just a little, but
the Osmo, the memory leak issue has been addressed by DJI, and this fix will be implemented in this new update. So make sure if you're using the DJI with Switcher that you install the latest version on all of your devices. If you have problems with the installation, make sure you back up your files. You can uninstall and reinstall the app from the App Store, and that should get things going. So really looking forward to seeing more productions with the Osmo. I know it's been a little frustrating for devices when you're losing control, and I think we've got that one worked out. So rock on. What do we get next on the docket, Angela?
So next is our user video of the week. Before we go into that, Nick mentioned as well, we're going to jump into the user group to talk more about the upcoming update with DJI and the screen sharing. So again, for anyone who is, watching this for the first time or hasn't joined yet, make sure you get into our user group. It's called Switcher Studio Enthusiast. You can either search for that term, or you can click on groups in the menu where you're watching this right now. Either way, it'll take you to the user group. We are so close to 1,000 members, so we're definitely excited about that. But it's a great place where you can, share tips and tricks on using Switcher Studio, learn new things from other users, ask questions, we're all in the user group as well, and you can share some of your content. So, we always get a great boost every week after the show. Make sure to join the group. It's a great place to be, and you also have the chance to be on Stream Squad. So last week's broadcast was all about how to create a really good production using one camera with Switcher Studio. And our user of the week is the group Speakeasy. They've got a short talk show that they've been doing, and they did a really great production that they posted 2 days ago using one camera. And with this, they were still able to incorporate, graphics for lower thirds and logos. Their lighting looked great, their set looked great. So with just one camera, they still have this high quality production, and we definitely loved watching it.
I think something else to mention about them is they're just very entertaining as well.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of makes it a little more exciting as well. Just being more animated, really into it, and excited about what they're talking about. I know this one that you're seeing here was kind of their test, so I think what they're talking about was really cool, and it might be something to check out and follow. Watch a couple of live videos. I'm sure you'll get ideas for your streams, or just learn something interesting.
So again, make sure, you can tag your videos with the hashtag MadeWithSwitcher wherever you're posting them, and we look at those. Also post them in the user group. We do like seeing all the videos that you guys create. And again, we'll reach out to one person a week and make sure that we get you featured on the show. So definitely works all the way around.
And if you're sharing a video in the user group, be sure to give some context, a little bit of background about the program or what your setup is like. It's a little hard for us to really tell what's going on if it's just a link to your video, and it's really helpful for people in the group to know how you're managing your production and what you've learned or what you're having problems with. So be an open book. Sharing is great, and there's a lot of other people out there using the product that are happy to help and answer any questions. Also, if you are not in the user group already, you can log into your account at switcherstudio.com. And from the dashboard, there's a widget that makes it really easy to go through the survey and get into the group. And that's probably a little bit quicker. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in the dashboard, too, and we'll continue improving things there as well. So be sure to go to switcherstudio.com, log into your Switcher account with your email and password, and sign up for the user group.
I think that might be all we have for this week.
All right. Well, do we have anybody in the comments, questions we want to jump into?
There's one comment asking. Here, so I'm not just talking and looking at or you guys are just looking at Nick and Whitney looking at nothing.
Angela.
Yeah. Someone was asking about why their videos after they go live on the iPhone only upload part of the video. That's the big question we got, which could be a lot of different things. I think the best thing to do at this point is to email us at support@switcherstudio.com, and we can figure out what's going on or see where there's a mess up or something.
Yeah, a lot of times it's network related, or after you in the broadcast, if it's still transferring and that connection gets closed early, it might not be able to send everything to YouTube or Facebook. But yeah, email support, and we'll work with you and help troubleshoot that. Also, I guess we can let people know, anyone that's new to Switcher or on the trial that might be watching this video, we're doing live webinars during that first 2-week period to go through some common misconceptions about video and give some tips and tricks and help people get started on using Switcher and going live on Facebook. There's a lot you can do with Switcher, and you don't have to go out and buy a ton of devices and cases and tripods before you can start. The example that we talked about in the user group with just the one camera production is a really great example. And so this is something new that we're trying, and I think it could be a really valuable resource for people that are getting started. So if you're on the trial, if you're watching this video, I think that's at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today, and every Wednesday we'll be doing a live webinar where Dan will be doing a walkthrough on some of these things, and we'll answer questions in real time. Angela will be on standby in the comments. And then we're also experimenting with some new things on the support side, and trying to use more video across social and replying to people. And something that we saw recently in the user group, or actually this was on Twitter. Someone submitted a question on Twitter, and we had a couple exchanges back and forth, and they ended up replying with a video, and it was really great to see them and hear about how they solved the problem. But also from a support perspective, by using video, we can show things that are happening on the device or on the screen. We could see the cables or connections that you're using. So I would encourage people that are messaging us through support or posting on Twitter to use video. And we'll be doing a little bit more of that here as well. So I think this is the sign off for this week. We'll jump in the comments and answer any questions that we didn't get to live here on the show, but we'll make sure we follow up on those. And be sure to tune in next week, Wednesdays at, what time do we start?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Switcher Studio. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.